Hi everyone. In the last activity, we learned about some of the common features that you can use on NoveList Plus. But in this video, we're going to learn a little bit more about some slightly more advanced techniques. Learn about how to use an advanced search to find types of materials and some other resources that might not be something you need every day, but would be useful for you to know about. So I'm going to start by walking through an advanced search. So to start an advanced search, you're going to want to click the advanced search button here. Oh dear, looks like it logged me out, so I'm going to log myself back in. Just 1 second, guys. I know if it's idle for just a little bit too long, it logs you out. All right, so I'm all back into my account, so I'm going to walk you through an advanced search. So when you hit the advanced search button, you get a lot more options to look through. You'll see that it has a couple different search modes. You can look in Boolean or phrase. Currently, what's highlighted is find all my search terms, which I'm just going to leave that alone for a moment. You can look by author at nationality, author gender identity, cultural identity, and different kinds of formats. You can also look by grade level, or if you know the Lexile range, which is something that would probably be useful for educators or people who are trying to ensure that their children are reading at the correct level. And then for audiobooks, it has information about run times, which if you're an avid audiobook listener, which I actually am, that's super useful. So today, though, I'm going to start by searching for a book, which I already know the title of this book is actually Brilliant Blunders. But I'm going to just pretend like that's the only thing I really know about it. I don't know the author's name. I do know that it's for adults and that it's nonfiction. And remember that I've highlighted find all my search terms here. And I'm not really sure what the name of the author is, but I kind of a vague memory that he's male, so I'm going to select that, but I'm not really sure about any of this other information. But let's see if we can get something to return for us here. So I'm going to click search. And you'll see right there, right at the top, it's the first book that comes back. Brilliant Blunders by Mario Livio. It's actually a pretty interesting book from what I hear. It's on my to-read list. But I'm going to go into here. So I want to remember about this book, and I'm going to save it to my searches. Because that's what that little button means. If you want to save any of your search items that you can look at them later, this will send it to your folder. I briefly discussed this in the last video. But as you can see, when you go into a materials page, it has a whole lot of information about the book, the genre, the writing style, reviews from some pretty prominent publishing houses. It even has information about the audiobook format, which is apparently narrated by Jeff Cummings. That's good to know. And it tells you how long it's going to be. And then you can do a listen alike, which is, I guess, like their read alike section, or an author read alike, which I briefly mentioned. I think it's one of the browse by categories, or actually, no, that's in the next section. It's in quick links. So that was the next thing I wanted to show you was this really handy tool right here at the top called quick links. They have a couple of different useful tools here. author read-alikes is probably my favorite because I know I've encountered this many times where I really love an author, but I've read everything that they've written, and I really, really, really want to have that same feeling of reading a book that kind of gives me all of the happy feelings, or the suspenseful feelings. Actually, one of my favorite authors is right here. So I'm going to click her page, see if I can't find some recommended read-alikes. Once you know it, there's quite a few here. Jennifer Cruzy, Rachel Gibson, both of whom I actually really enjoy quite a lot. But I've never heard of Julia James, so that'll be good to check on all of that. But basically it gives you some information about different authors who have similar writing styles or similar titles that you might enjoy. Another really cool thing in the quick link section is some book club resources, which I think is really great. So this can be used for someone who, if you want to start a book club or if you just need some help kind of getting a discussion going in your book club, things have gotten a little stale. Here's some great resources for you to access to kind of, beef up your reading list, or maybe get some more engaging discussion starters, or I'm not really sure all what you would need, but some really useful resources here for both starting and continuing a book club. And then this one would probably be more useful for a librarian, but some really neat display ideas for adult books for kids. I'll go click on one of these so we can look at what this looks like. But here's just a collection of books that would turn into a really good book display or go really well together, be very topical. So just a really nice resource for if you ever wanted to make a really neat book display, probably more useful for a librarian, but still really neat that they have it available. And as you can see, there are quite a few other things here. I think one of my other favorite ones here is this curricular connector, which is a resource for people trying to teach kids or try to make connections with kids' reading materials. And there's a lot of good ideas for looping in meanings and cause and effect and author purpose and all sorts of different teaching points that teachers or even parents can help engage kids with reading material. Anyway, I just thought just an introduction to these resources would kind of give you that next level of use and understanding of how to use NoveList Plus and really get the most out of it. But I hope you've walked away with a little bit more information, and please contact me if you have any questions. Thank you so much.